Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. Uh, Hi from Egypt. Ahlan min Masr from Giza. It's very hot today. الجو حار جدا. It's very hot in Egypt. And it's summertime, and I hope you guys are having wonderful, cool, and a nice day. يوم جميل ولطيف. So you can say that cool is latif and weather is cool, الجو لطيف, or مش لطيف. You can also use this adjective for, to describe people. They are nice. You can use as a compliment, انت لطيف to a man, or انت لطيفة to a woman, okay? And شاي لطيف, a nice tea. So this is actually شاي مثلج or شاي مثلج in Arabic, which means iced tea. And you can, sometimes people just say iced tea. They don't change anything. So, today's, this short video, since I have been so busy, مشغول جدا, and it's just a very nice and productive summer indeed. Unlikely, maybe just, I would say the same like last summer. Although I feel more productive in the winter. أنا نشيط جدا. I'm more active in the winter في الشتاء. But let me know what is your favorite season? The safe, the summer, or the winter? الشتاء. And أنا بحب الشتاء. I love the winter. I love the spring as well. That's okay too. So today's lesson is about how not to translate, or how to stop translating Arabic, like in your head. So translating any language that you are studying. I have been busy teaching Arabic, and to be honest, I added English to, to my career teaching, but it was just by accident, because I was organizing some courses for other teachers to teach in Lighthouse, and one of them was English to Egyptians, or for Egyptian speakers, Arabic speakers. So it was, I was kind of replacement for one of those teachers, because not just directing or managing the courses, but just in case I could teach as well. Like I have some certificates, qualifications as an English teacher as well. But my master's degree in Arabic language, I cannot deny it. I cannot escape from my destiny. So anyway, to stop translating Arabic in your head, some of my students really are struggling, are finding this, or they find this so challenging, and it's extremely difficult, because even myself, believe it or not, when I started to learn English and then Portuguese, I was translating everything in my head in my own native language, into my own native language, and then I will start to respond. So if you are having the same issues, and you start studying and learning any languages as well, like besides Arabic, you feel it's not so easy. So let me tell you how to stop this. The first is, start with here. Start with where you stand here. Identify everything around you in the target language. Let's say a book in English, so I would say kitab in Arabic. So this is kitab, book. Ma, or tea, shay, shay. So try to use everything around you, house items, people like around you, family, العيلة, you can use baba, mama, father, akh, ukht. So how to say this simple words to stop translating? You just have to start from the very small circle around you, and don't think them of your native language first. So that's how people feel this confusion. Think of them in the target language first, and try to find the word to describe this item, like kitab. Okay, If you didn't find the word instantly, try to slow down. No hurry. There's no لا داعي للاستعجال, you know, لا داعي للعجلة in Arabic. No need to be in hurry. You know, you just take your time, خد وقتك, and just use or try to find the words and try to forget the dictionaries. You know, and I'm saying this: don't bring your dictionaries to your lessons, to your studying. And I'm saying this, I know these are very beneficial. I cannot say this because, I mean, I know it sounds strange as a language teacher, and I use them even myself, translating in my other businesses. But for studying as well, it's better to have a list of words and vocabularies that you are going to use them because you are needing them. You need them. So you cannot just learn all the words in the whole universe. That sounds unrealistic. And I always say to my students, set realistic goals, many goals, small goals. It's better than just putting a lot of words and expressions and you have to study them in a short time and put yourself like a very limited time for that. It's very, it's very, very challenging, and I would say it's not easy. And repeat phrases you hear, repeat and repeat and repeat phrases you hear from native speakers. What they use. So if you find someone like me, and I have Arabic in a minute in YouTube, just repeat the words. I give few expressions, few words, like chai, tea, أنا بحب الشاي, I love tea, what is your favorite, something like that. So repeat these words and expressions that native speakers really use for daily life. It will give you a confidence. So this is really number two. So first one is like, you know, try to identify everything around you in Arabic language if you're studying Arabic, and use this. Don't use you know, dictionaries. You just use the words, or start studying the words and expressions that you will need it for traveling, for things that you are going to experience so soon. And I want just to give a shout out for my wonderful OG Usual Suspects on YouTube, on my students, sorry, on here and also on YouTube, for continuing and being committed to the Arabic courses. I love you guys. It just really, I feel so proud of you. I'm really so proud of you, and I feel so blessed to teach you as well. And some of them really asked me this. Speaking of my students, they are watching movies and they are listening to the songs. Which one is likely to be more or most beneficial? Movies. Use movies and TV series or TV, because then you will find people who speak in the normal tone, and try to, maybe you can just slow it down. If you have the YouTube, you can find this playback speed, and you can playback speed, just reduce the time, the speed, and it can be like 75% instead of the normal or the default speed. You can use this way to watch people talking and use the characteristics or the body language and how they use. So stop. Sometimes the subtitles are very, very beneficial. I know some of my students really learn this way, and I myself learned it this way. I used to watch this TV in 19s that Friends, you know, Jennifer Aniston and all this wonderful, you know, American actors. It was very, very nice. It was fun and it was just amazing. And even when I started speak Portuguese, I went to Brazil and I lived there, and I used to watch global TV, which is global, so it's a global or global, and it's a lot of you know, it's like a TV channels, many more than one, and they just, you know, have some movies and some, you know, TV, super opera and all those things. So it was very beneficial for me. But force yourself to these situations to not use your language, your native language, even for translating these movies, or so try to stop using these words, using this way. uh, then it will be easy for you to figure out the words. You can catch one word by simply watching people just talking and using their hand, and then you can figure out what they really want to say. You know what I mean? Sometimes body language reveal meanings and without even knowing the language. You know what I mean? Like if I say to you, like I feel more bored, or just it's kind of, I don't like that. So so if you don't know the word, the negative form of no in Arabic, la, then you can just say, yeah, he feels annoyed. This man, he feels annoyed. So it means like it's no, or it's negative meaning. Okay. I teach Arabic body language, and I have many of my students start to figure out many words without even letting them know what they are about. So if you are in public space, which I recommend you to do that, I know it's somehow embarrassing and it's just challenging and overwhelming even for me, but try to force yourself. It's difficult, it's very difficult thing to do, is to practice talking to people in their own native language without even using your, I'm sorry for the light, just one of, it's not so good light today. But if you cannot practice and feel confidence, then stop learning. I mean, that's I used to say this to myself when I am in a situation I have to force myself to speak to people in their own native language, because there's no other way. It's like survive or die. It's like this way you have to find yourself a way to understand what people saying. Otherwise, you lose the friendship. You lose, So I have to be among people, eating, speaking, talking, hanging out with friends, Brazilians, without knowing everything they say. But I have to figure out what they say, what they're trying to say. And I found that way was extremely useful, was the way that I taught myself. Besides, also I learned it in the college, in Universidade ABC Federal, and the Federal University in Santo Andrea. But I found myself very confident afterwards, after the class, after my Arabic class. You will not practice. So you have to force yourself. If you can't travel, if you cannot be among our people, which I doubt, because our people are everywhere. You can find them if you live in the United States, if you live in Canada, if you live in anywhere, you'll definitely find someone who speaks Arabic. Definitely force yourself and be confident and be brave, خليك شجاع, and just start using this word with them. And it's completely will not take you, will not charge you anything, will not, hurt your self-esteem, will not hurt your feelings, will not hurt his feelings or their feelings as well. Unlikely, they will feel so happy and so friendly. You feel like you are a very friendly person and you are educated person. And I have many examples. I have many stories from my students. They told me like they just start to talk to friends, Arabs, and they found in colleagues or business owners, or name it, everywhere, and they completely change it. How to treat them, or as if, they start to feel more friendly when they speak Arabic with them. So speaking Arabic with Arab native speakers will completely change the whole game. So, and it will definitely make you more appealing, more attractive, socially intelligent, and emotionally intelligent as well. Zaki, oh Zaki, you are a woman. So the step is make situation. As I said, this makes situations that you cannot use your native language, or you cannot escape into your native language. Like you don't use this, don't use Google Translator, don't use this. You cannot use Google Translator and say to people, oh, just استنى one moment please, لحظة واحدة, and I will look up this word in Google and I will get back to you. Stop. I would say you have the flu of language, so don't practice. Don't practice flu. Don't waste your time, even seconds, few seconds, like and give me a second here, honestly, because I'm not saying don't use dictionaries. Like, I'm not saying this. You can use them. They are very helpful, especially if you want to learn new words. But I'm not saying. But at the same time, don't use them and put them into every time discussions or every time situation that you need to learn a word. Try to just figure out. I like to play with my students guess game. خمن لعبة تخمين. They love it so much, and I found it's like, if it's not like 95 to 96% percentage, they really know the answer, and they loved it. They love it so much. I found it's extremely useful because the context will always reveal, body language as well, reveal you the meanings that people want to say. Whether you are learning Arabic, Spanish, I start to learn Spanish, and it's somehow easy for me because I know Portuguese and I understand Portuguese. And when I start to learn Spanish, I found some words are same like English, even like even you don't have to know everything or to have a background in languages or sisters languages like Portuguese. But honestly, I found so many of these words you can guess in Arabic as well. Like so many words you can guess, like alcohol, which is alcohol, tomato, which is camisa in Spanish is camis, in Spanish is camisa, which is shirt. So you have so many similarities in Arabic language. You even can find in other languages, like tamam is means fine. So of course, if you are lucky enough, same as I was, especially I hope I will be lucky in Spanish as well. But if you're lucky and you can find somewhere to visit and live for some time, and I always say to my students, if you are lucky enough to travel to Egypt, then you cannot waste this time and not using your Arabic words and expressions that I taught you. And otherwise you really like wasting this wonderful progress, or this wonderful fortune of words and expressions that you learned before. So of course, if you are not lucky to have people around you in your country, or even traveling abroad, use social media, guys. Use social media. You have many applications, italki, and this applications that people are using. Facebook, you can add someone for Facebook, but make sure that he's not a stalker or someone like that, but just make sure he's a polite person and just talk to them, or even just talk to women if you're a woman. So you can, if you talk to some women, Arab women or Egyptian women, that's completely fine, because so it's so fun, and it's so just I would say useful. I'm doing it myself, and I did in Portuguese. I was lucky enough to live abroad in Brazil. I practiced with people. I forced myself as well. I was studying, but when I have even some of my students, Egyptians, like they asked me recently, like how can we improve our pronunciation and to feel confident, and I told them like just don't don't think that everything you're taking in a class, in any English class or any language classes, it's everything you need. You need more to get out and to just put everything into practice, and don't waste your time in putting you just be open it up, and don't be afraid to open up. Don't be afraid to open up to people and talk to them, and make mistakes and do a lot of mistakes, because I did, and this is how I learned it. If you don't do mistakes, you are not going to learn anything, and this is very very important. مهم جدا to know that doing mistakes means you are learning. If you are not doing mistakes, you are not learning. Imagine myself, I'm 30 something, like almost above my middle 30, and almost, and I'm learning Spanish. I have other people learning are 20, like 25, 30, and almost even older, and there's nothing to be shy. Learning is not a way, or is not a reason for you to feel panic or anxiety about, or to be afraid. To be honest, I feel really motivated for doing other things, or to do other things as well. Like I start to make new friends, and I have other students who are actually learning Arabic with another teachers teaching Arabic in Spanish, and they start to ask me, and I start to, this time I don't have to wait as a teacher. The teacher who is responsible to teach them in Spanish, I was just, because I'm directing, or I'm managing these courses, distance learning, but I just found myself could communicate with them. Surprisingly, I taught students from Mexico and Argentina, and many countries, and I used some of Spanish words with them, because Portuguese was kind of helping me out. But then I found myself like, why can't I just put efforts in learning Spanish, since it will open new opportunities for me? And think about it, just you are learning a language that will open to you a lot of gates, not just one gate, gates of communications, gates of culture, gates of social interaction skills with people, with everybody, gates of traveling skills and confidence, self-esteem, even self-esteem personally. When you learn a language, as I told you before, many psychological researchers say that you are enhancing your memory skills, you are improving your I don't know, like brain functions, whatever you can name it. You have a lot of wonderful researches and outcomes about this, about learning a new language. So kind of play around a little bit, because when you are when you are using some of the words, and I told you about, don't use the subtitles, but you can use subtitles. Turn it on, turn it off when you are watching a movie, when you are watching, Arabic movies are everywhere on Netflix. Arabic and Egyptian movies, especially Egyptian movies, they start to put in this platform Netflix almost 3 years, even before the COVID. You have a lot of wonderful and fun movies, even on YouTube. You find a lot of movies on YouTube in Arabic, in English translations, in English subtitles and translations. So you can get just some time to watch them. It will be very helpful for you. So this is like something like I say to my students: try to resist translating the words into your head to your own native language, and just try to think in the target language, like things around you, words and expressions. This is watch, sa'a in Arabic. This is tablet. This is koob, which cup. You can say, well, mug, if it's just, just consider it's mug, or just put all the things that is contained, which is ma or tea, maya, water, or tea, shay, or ahwa, in classical qahwa. So try to use the words. And one main problem that many people really fall in this maze or in this trap, which is determine which dialect, which language you are going to learn or you are going to use. So in order to learn, you have to know what it's most helpful for you. Are you going to learn Egyptian Arabic language or classical Arabic language or modern standard Arabic language? Which one that you really need? Arabic language we have Egyptian Arabic, which is for conversation skills, and even other other nations, other countries who will definitely understand you if you use it. But you have the classical or al-Fusha, modern standard Arabic, which is likely more for religious uses or academic uses. For sure, if you also need to know how to write and how to speak at the same time, you can learn classical Arabic language. But in most of my cases, I see, and I have seen in all my 15 years experience, and that doesn't mean I'm so old, but I've just started to teach when I was very young. So train also, the next step is train your ear, your tongue responses to common, just training responses to the common questions of every day, which is like كيف حالك or ازيك, how are you? So what you should answer in this case, أنا تمام, or أنا كويس, or أنا جيد. Choose the easiest way, because our ways that you can say in Egyptian, the ways that you can say in classical Arabic. So if you are using classical Arabic, then you should say أنا بخير. In Egyptian also you can say أنا بخير. If you are saying this even in Egyptian and classical, you can also say أنا تمام, and that's the easiest answer ever. أنا تمام, أنا تمام. So I'm fine. أنا مش تمام, I'm not fine. So use this, training your responses for the easiest and most common questions that you might likely to be asked. You might likely be asked, like many people will definitely ask you, hey, how are you doing? And what's your name? اسمك إيه? وما اسمك? I put some of those most common greetings and expressions in Arabic language on my YouTube channel. You can definitely check them out. And even though I have a wonderful course, Survival and Essential Arabic for Communication Skills and Social Media, which Arabic language that you can use in both ways, or in either way, online or even in person, on real life, in daily life. So on a daily life. So what I also say is, think of a default response. Don't just get, oh my God, should I say أنا كويس, or أنا تمام, or أنا بخير, or أنا, I don't know. It's so many answers, so many responses. Just use the one answer, the easiest answer for you, and don't just make yourself feel crazy. Just use one answer, and one answer is enough. إجابة واحدة كفاية. إجابة واحدة كفاية جدا. It's so enough, so sufficient. One answer is always enough. It's better than not, no answer. So just for people who love to learn Egyptian and classical Arabic, you know, may God be with you. I cannot say anything, but it's not. I always say this to even my OG usual suspects, my wonderful students, who actually did that, which I haven't seen many people done that lately, because people start to, you know, think much wiser and just save time for focus on one language at a time. So just learn, put yourself all the efforts in learning one dialect. If you are going to use a standard Arabic, just learn a standard Arabic. If you are going, don't mix them. It's totally, it's not wise. It's totally very hard, difficult, صعب جدا. And it's the same like if you are learning Portuguese of Portugal, for example, in my case, and learning Portuguese of Brazil. You find so many words and so many letters are completely different, and so many different answers, different ways to speak, to ask. So it's not really wise. Same like in Egyptian Arabic and classical Arabic is not same. I mean, they share the same vocabs and maybe grammar as well, but not all the grammar, because the grammar are different. Like I would say, like more than 50%. They may share some of like 50, 50, you know, like 50, 50, you know, like just 50 maybe, but they are not sharing everything. Are not same for everything. Study, next step, ladies and gentlemen, so study with materials that don't provide you any translations. And I know it's very hard, because how can you do that? You know, 5 years from now, maybe 7 years, I would say, 7 years, or I think, yeah, 7 years or 6 years, okay, when I was in Brazil. The first time I saw this wonderful teacher, Brazilian, from São Paulo. She was teaching us Portuguese, and she was just talking in Portuguese. I found like what the hell? Like it's so confusing for me. And indeed, I learned it, and I found it's very challenging, and even I was not making fun of her. She's extremely amazing. I'm a teacher, and I respect teachers, and I appreciate teachers. Like, you know, in a very, like, I would say, ultimately. But for me as a teacher, the method itself was kind of strange. Even in Cairo University, when they qualify teachers like us to be Arabic teachers for non-native speakers, you have like 45 to 50 subjects to study. Study civilization, history, translations, name it, like, you know, philosophy, all this in Arabic language. And you have just only one subject, maybe for 2 years, English. So what you have to do as a teacher to qualify yourself after or while you're doing the master's degree, or while before even preparing yourself for the master's degree, you have to study English, you have to do a lot of work and study a lot, study hard. But they are telling you this. Try to teach your students in your own native language. If you are teaching Arabic, then you have to teach them in Arabic. Don't use any words of their native languages. Try as much as you can, as possible as you can, because for sure you have to do it. I do it for sure because I teach Arabic and English, and my students are very happy and grateful for that, and I'm very grateful that they are happy as well. But to be honest, it would be better if they force themselves to understand everything I'm saying in Arabic without me translating them everything in English or into their own native language, whether they are Brazilians and teaching Arabic in Portuguese or teaching Arabic in Spanish or in Espanol or in English. Okay, so try to be aware of this, and yeah, try just study this material if you can, and listen and listen and listen, and you will definitely catch some of the words. So you know, so many of you like would say, so how can I know this meanings or the meanings of these words if I don't have any idea about this language at the first place. It's my first time to learn. It's A1. Well, we do this in level 2, A2 or A3, A4. So we don't really like teachers don't really, I don't like to use this method until I will be like with my student. I feel he or she will be completely more, I would say, like they can figure out so many different meanings, but I always say to just try to guess. I always like to play around with them, like you know, with playing this guess game, mind like kind of you know, not mind games, not saying mind games, like quizzes, you know, not using mind games. So this way to help to practice your verb, practice your vocabs, all the things. I would definitely have to give it a try. You should give it a try, I would say. Everything I said, it's just make life simple, make learning more fun. You don't have to worry about if you learn words, so many words, just few words, extreme, you know, but you have to keep the flow of words and expressions from yourself, and don't use a lot of like don't use that dictionaries, and don't buy things that are needed, not really needed at all. Because some of my students, they buy a lot of wonderful books online, which I don't really interfere. I don't tell them like don't buy, it's useless. No, I mean buy it. They are all of them are extremely useful. I mean, look at me. I'm buying books since I was in high school. I have this and I have another other books and somewhere else. I don't know where I should put them. But that doesn't mean you can buy books online. You can buy ebook, you can buy real book, you can buy audiobook, you can buy whatever you want to buy. فيش مشكلة. I would totally, I would encourage you. I would tell you like you can do so, but don't extremely overwhelm yourself with so many resources. Just stick with one at a time. If I'm teaching you this word, if I'm teaching you this Arabic course, which you know for sure I would love to you to be my student, you can join our level A1, A2 so soon in June. I mean, we already started a group, but we have still another group coming, which is you know it's almost in the middle of June. What's today? Yeah, it's almost. So you can definitely check it out at my Facebook page, facebook.com/Ahmed Eswifi official, or facebook.com/Connect Arabic, or even at my my Instagram, Ahmed Eswifi _official, or my website for sure, www.ilarabicacademy.com courses. You can find this, and you find our you know A1 and A2. You can sign up for the one course, for the single course, for the 4 classes. We have many different plans, many different programs. We would love to help you. We would love to make you confident. We would love you to have a new experience in your life, and also join my wonderful students, our wonderful students' success stories. You can definitely watch them on my YouTube channel, how they found this extremely useful. Some of them really Arabic language. I don't want to say like brag myself, but or praise myself, because they really found it's the Arabic language we are doing, not just only me. Humbly, I'm so proud. I'm so thrilled and so blessed to see them telling the stories on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Connect Arabic. And I remember one of my wonderful students' stories is, or experience, Katrina. She was, she studied Arabic language and Egyptian, and she had been in Egypt for many years, from since 1990 something, and I don't know. She told me 1995 or 1996. I just try to remember, but she told me she came in this period of time. After that, she came like several times in Egypt, but she has this only problem is connecting these words and expression to make a meaningful sentence. So sometimes people really have a lot of words, a lot of expressions, a lot of vocabs, but they don't know how to connect them in order to make meaningful sentences and to respond effectively. So this is one of the stories, and have Sarah from Japan, from Italy, from Italy, Rika from Japan. I have other students, they really loved it. China, Vietnam, Azerbaijan, United States, Canada, different states. Proudly really we have reached this amount of people among many different countries all over the world, all over the globe, and I'm very happy really to have this, to achieve this during or throughout these years in my life, honestly, because this is what I really gained, and it's not all about money, you know. This message is about really helping people out, reaching people with new knowledge, and even qualify students to be messengers of this knowledge. Because what's the point of the knowledge if it's not being used? Like, knowledge means you have to use it, and you have to make other people know it, and let other people know it. So this is what I really feel, why I feel so happy, I feel really so blessed when I found this outcome achieved. So anyway, with all being said, on YouTube or anywhere, I love you guys, and just keep studying, keep it up. Your hard work, your wonderful work, your great work. خليك قوي, stay strong, stay well, خليك تمام وخليك كويس. Stay well, stay safe. خليك آمن. But also and stay tuned, because we are having this wonderful Arabic workshops. It's happening in June, and will be running until July and all the summer, for sure, all summertime. We have really wonderful hot offers. It's just, definitely you have to check them out. Arabic A1, Arabic A2. We have started another group. We have a new different plan, which is very, very affordable, very inexpensive, which is so cheap and so affordable. We have our platform, which is probably we released our 2 updates. I completely forgot to tell you about from the beginning, but here I am. So we have this released our education platform, which is already released for a long time. But the point is, we released the Arabic course in Espanol, and this is why I feel motivated when I do this, because I already studying Spanish. So anything in Spanish makes me feel so happy. Even I myself was organizing the course content in Espanol. I mean, other teachers presented or given by other teachers, but I was so happy to read and listen this course myself, and I found as a teacher, and even so far 2 or 3 signed up for this course. They really like it so much. I was making sure to ask them if they really like it or not. They really like it so much. From Argentina, from Chile, and from Mexico. Almost there are 3, which not 2. So one of them already started just 2 days ago. So I am very thankful for the Lighthouse team, web developer, and all the wonderful team, and Yasmin, and all people, everyone, and students as well, who just actually did the big move to sign up for the courses. And it's very cheap. It started with 45. It just if you just even convert to pesos or to do whatever in your currency, will be still very cheap for the whole course, believe it or not. Platform also for Arabic language in English, It's very also cheap. You can just pay like kind of 54 a month. It's like a subscription fees. It's so discounted, and you have a lot of resources in this platform. Not just even words and videos. You have quizzes. You have small, wonderful Arabic language games. So many wonderful things. Honestly, we updated the platform that we already established for a long time ago, and yeah, we have the Arabic body language. Is I'm very grateful, by the way, to not to forget. Thanks to people in WAMED Festival. They are very amazing and nice. I saw my my OG wonderful usual suspects from Australia. It was really nice, and I really enjoyed teaching them. Yeah, during this wonderful workshops, and yeah, and I just it makes me so extremely happy to feel or to see this, um, how people really found the Arabic language first time as they expected, not as expected. It's not so difficult, because everybody is just feel panic when they start to learn or just start to be told, like, you have to learn this language or we have this language course. But when they start to, with maybe just because of not only about the teacher, it's also, yeah, teacher can be a main factor for making the languages easy or difficult. But I would also say it's not just me, it's also them, because they feel committed. They wake up like 9 a.m. morning and they came to my workshop, and they came even in presence. They went to a place like a studio, like a theater, and was streaming on the big TV. And I was teaching from Egypt. They were in Australia. It was very amazing, and found this extremely nice and latif jiddan, and yeah. So I'm going to do some few workshops with a wonderful friend in the United States, but that will be also between the summer and the winter, almost in the fall. I will let you know, guys, in the groups, on our Facebook groups and our pages. So until we meet, so we have the Egypt in 4 days is coming as well, and don't forget to sign it up. You can sign up for one class. It's all about traveling and confidence skills. You definitely check them out. I love you guys, and stay tuned for more upcoming workshops and videos and lessons. And don't forget to smash YouTube subscriber and smash the bell notifications. And if you are watching us on YouTube, give us a like or dislike, whatever. Just you let us know, and I will see you soon.